Path to Nowhere is a 2D tower defense RPG that makes use of gacha mechanics to draw heroes called Sinners in the official in-game terminology. And you can use those Sinners in tactical battles that can be extremely challenging. And knowing how the basic mechanics of the game work can make all the difference, especially in the beginning. So in today's video, I'll explain some of the most basic areas of the game, starting out with the summoning system. As I said before, Path to Nowhere is a gacha game that gives you the chance of collecting your favorite Sinners, and you can get those from the in-game system known as a rest, where the Sinners that are of the higher rarity have a lower chance of being summoned, but the opposite is true. The lower rarity has the higher chance of being summoned, as you can see right now. And you can obtain these Sinners from the different summoning banners available in the rest section. And to do that, you must use warrants, the main currency used in Path to Nowhere. And you can get them from the in-game events, main story rewards, and by purchasing them directly by using your hypercubes. And for the joy of the free-to-play players, there's also a pity system into play. The drop rate chance of the S-rank Sinners increased by 2.85% if players has not summoned an S-rank Sinner in the 50 summons. And even if you don't manage to summon an S-rank Sinner till the 79th summon on the banner, then the 80th summon is guaranteed to be a S-rank Sinner. So even though the game has a lot of RNG involved, with a bit of persistence everyone can get an S-rank Sinner. The combat system of Path to Nowhere is not that tough to understand. The entire map is divided into multiple squares, with each square representing a movement area where both allies and enemies can be placed. And the main difference is that your characters are not able to move while the enemies can. And usually speaking, the entire map is marked with crosses that represent the area from where the enemies will spawn and move to the respective lanes. The goal of the enemies is to come from the left hand side and cross to the right hand side boundary where you, the protagonist, stand. If one enemy crosses you, it means you have lost one sanity. And each stage has a limited amount of sanity that can be lost, after which you'll be defeated. And your objective here is to place your Sinners on strategic locations to prevent the waves of incoming enemies. Path to Nowhere is a stat-hungry game that will constantly require you to do upgrades for your Sinners to constantly progress to the story. And naturally, as a gacha game, the high rarity Sinners will have better natural base stats compared to those that are of lower rarity. However, with the correct mindset, you can potentially make even the low rarity Sinners threatening and useful in multiple game modes. And you can achieve that by 4 different methods by which you can empower your Sinners to their maximum potential. First, you can level up your Sinners. This is one of the best ways to guarantee an increase in their base stats, like attack, defense, and HP. Then there is the promotion that you can use to increase their level cap and provide them with more base stats. And different promotion levels also unlock different abilities and passive effects for the Sinner, which also increase their usability. Third, there's shackles, the process by which players can enhance their existing skills of their Sinners by providing them with additional stats. Shackles can be very expensive and require you to feed the updates of Sinners to enhance them. And finally, we have skilling up. And although this does not affect the base stats of the Sinners, it does affect the damage output and utility of the Sinner by increasing the damage multiplier or decreasing the cooldown of every skill. In Path to Nowhere, the missions are tied to the Battle Pass system. Titled as Surveillance Order, these missions are divided into daily missions and weekly missions, and you can complete them to earn rewards and experience from this surveillance order. So if you want to progress fast and get the better resources early on, completing these missions are a must. So this is our beginner guide for Path to Nowhere. And if you want a more in-depth look at all the tips presented here, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for an article explaining everything in detail. And if you want to play Path to Nowhere on the bigger screen of your PC using your keyboard and mouse, BlueStacks is definitely the way to go for the most optimizing gaming experience. But anyway, that's it for today's video, thank you very much for watching and bye bye.